Mate, good to see you.
Thanks for coming in, Mez.
Pleasure.
How is it doing Brecky Radio again?
Brecky Radio is good. It's I think it's because of the purpose and the reason why I'm doing Brecky Radio, because I was asked to fill in for a month on Triple M, and initially I was like, nah, I can't. I'm too busy. I've got too much on, and also too, I had an enormous personal upheaval just prior to that. My mother was dying, literally dying, and passed away just 3 weeks ago.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, so it was like, I don't need this. This last thing I need is breakfast radio. But then I thought about it, and it was what inspired me to do it on is, number one, knowing that it's going to come at the end of 4 weeks is pretty good. It's not an open thing. It's like, yeah, I can do this for 4 weeks. But also too, it's an excellent opportunity to hone the blade. And I'm a big believer, as a stand-up comedian, we often get a push every now and again from managers, be like, how long has it been since you've done stand-up? And it's not about generating the money. It's about keeping that muscle memory and that skill set.
Yeah.
So I'm a big believer, and I know all too well that if you go too long a period without doing stand-up, you lose that edge. You lose your timing, and it's the same with radio. It's not about losing. It's just about just bringing it back to a very, very fine edge, because then that edge allows you to perform in so many other different realms. And I was like, actually right now, more pressure is probably going to help me with things rather than hinder me with things. I don't need stress, but pressure is different to stress.
Fuck, man. I remember when I was doing breakfast radio when my mum passed away, and I did take a couple of days, but I just got to get up and do this today.
Yeah, it's good.
I've got to get up and do this today, and I've got to compartmentalize this bit so I can do that part. And it was hard, but it was an active choice to get that done every day. And I'm one of 4 brothers, and everybody processes grief completely differently from everybody else. And so neither of us had the same experience, but it certainly helped me kind of get through that and notice when I was getting stuck.
It's a weird thing, because, you know, the compulsion to put yourself into work so close to a grief is really it's a decision that I think some people might judge and other people don't. It's one of those things. For me, my mother passed away on a Thursday night. I was with her until the very last moment. I stayed with her in the hospital for 4 days in a cancer ward. And then when she passed away, on the Friday I flew so less than 24 hours later, I was in Adelaide doing shows for part of the Fringe Festival. So I did 3 days of shows. The next Thursday I had my mother's service. The Friday I was back in Adelaide doing shows again. And it's not about being stoic or tough. I know it's not, because I went and did the right thing, and I went and saw a psychologist and a grief counsellor on Saturday. And I just talked her through it, and she said, people process things in different ways, Merrick. Yeah. And she said, it's not a bad environment for you. Going into a bad environment is a bad outcome. You can expect a bad outcome.
I'm not taking 2 weeks in Kuta to think about things.
Ever.
But you know what I mean? I'm not just going to clear my head and I'm going to go to Koh Samui. No.
Yeah, correct. What would have been bad is, you know, like legitimately flying to Vegas.
Yes.
Bad.
Yes.
Bad. So, I mean, you know, I heard you discussing Vegas. Vegas is a different, you know, option. But yeah, very much so. So it was actually, I think in hindsight that, you know, I made the right decision. I feel all right.
Was there a time in your life when you wouldn't have reached out to a grief counsellor?
Yeah, definitely. There would have been many, many times. I mean, there's times, even just a few years ago, just talking about seeing a psychologist, I probably wouldn't have done. But like now, I just don't, whatever. I didn't, and it's not because, truthfully, it's not actually because I felt bad, even though it's very recent since my mum's passing. My mum and I are very close. But it was just more about going, all right, let's preemptive strike this. If I'm in denial over grief, let's go and expose it. Let's open it up. If there's a nut to crack, let's be brave enough to go and do it. So I went to see a grief counsellor and just said, you know, this is what's happened.
Yeah.
And then they're like, here's some things you could do about spending time with my family and focused attention with my own family. And she said, but I reckon you're all right, miss. And I was like, not broken.
Well, at least you checked. It's no more than like, I'm looking to get a PR on my squat, but I think my form's a bit off. I might work with a trainer to make sure I don't lean to one side too much.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do this part by myself. It's just heavy lifting when you come into the big stuff in life. But there is also something when you speak to a grief counsellor or someone like that, when they start going, look, you can expect this, that, and that, the other. You're like, have you been watching me? Like, oh, right. No, I'm just experiencing what normally happens when you lose somebody. Yeah. Therefore, it's way less scary.
Yeah.
When it happens, you're like, okay, that's just that thing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, there was. Look, I mean, I think also too with seeing a mental health professional, it's not necessarily the things that you expect to be addressed or things that you think will be the subject matter. It's something else, like a little piece of advice or something like that, or a little moment where that's the takeaway. It's not what you went there for, right? So it's like going shopping. It's like you walk into a department store and you go, oh, I need a pair of jeans. And you walk out and you've gone, I've got a pair of fucking shoes now. What have I done? How did I came here for pants, and that happens to me a lot, strangely. That literally happened to me on Saturday. But it is one of those things where the takeaway is not what you expected, but it is in fact the thing that you needed.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You got to, when I sit down in a meeting of other people who are trying to not drink, I always get told, listen for the similarities, not the differences, and just trust you're going to hear something you need to hear today.
Yeah.
And
there's always something.
At first, I was like, fuck you, fuck everyone here, fuck all this. But after a while, you're like, actually, I really needed to hear that.
It was unfortunate because you were at a Boy Scout meeting. And they were all like, why is this guy sorry? Room 3, I apologise, team.
I apologise, mate.
I've stepped into the wrong meeting. No, dib, dob, keep going.
I've done that. I've done that. I walked into the wrong meeting once.
No.
Yeah.
What was the meeting for? Can you tell me what the other group was?
Let's just say the one that I was going for was around liquid beverages that are, have a fermentation about them.
Yep.
And the other one was about heavy duty kind of opioid things that one might ingest.
Oh.
Two very different things.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and it was my first time there, and it was in Venice Beach where I lived. I walked in and I sat down. I was like, wow, this is a very different vibe to the one I normally experience. And these cats are real heavy. Wow, okay. Well, all right, I'm here for this. I always learn a lot in these places. Similarities, not differences. I want to hear something. And then they open it up and I go, ah. And the guy next to me goes, yeah, it's next door. I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Was the giveaway the fact that most of them were on the nod and they just
no, not at all. No,
it
was the I have seen hell and I've stared it in the face and I'm alive today because I'm a powerful, strong human being. It was that. It was these are the people that lived and stay living. These are the people that have been able to beat and stay beating it every day. And it's incredible, the strength. But they are, because of the things that those drugs can do, have, shall we say, contact with parts of society that you otherwise would think it's best to stay out of that suburb.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of that. I was the only one without a neck tat in that
It's not too late, Osh. You can still get one.
Mate, you never know. I was listening to, getting ready for this, I listened to the time when you came on this show, 10 years ago now, a bit more. And look, I really got to tell you, I've got to thank you so much for what you did for me. I don't know if you realize what you did, because after you came on my show, you started bringing me in the afternoons on Triple M.
Yeah, true.
And because of that, the people in the room, like, make no mistake, Australia, like, the guys in the room aren't searching for the next radio star. They're just like, oh, they're here, good, you go. That's it. If they can make the decision in less than 80 seconds, it's yes.
Yep. Live in the lift well of a radio station and you will get a job.
If you're around and you can solve their problem, they will say yes to you.
Yep.
Because there's so little time.
So true.
And so little budget. But they heard me on air and they heard me talking, and that's the thing that led to getting back on radio in Brisbane. But I remember listening to that, and you talked about your experience, and I recommend people go back and listen to it because it's a fantastic chat. But you talked about that your dad would take you on educationals. You would go, your dad would want you to just see parts of the world and ways that other people lived to get a perspective on your own life. One of the stories you shared was about a slum in Manila, which was pretty fucking awesome. But now your kids are kind of mid-teens, almost late teens. I'm wondering, like, how much of the way that your dad did things did you keep, and how much of the way that your dad did things do you like?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I think in some ways, you're doomed to become your parents. But I look
catch yourself saying shit they said.
Yeah.
What has become of me?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, you inherit idiosyncrasies in some ways, right? Not necessarily behaviors. You might inherit behaviors, but sometimes when you inherit behaviors, they're learned behaviors, so they might actually be poor behaviors. But it's nice when you inherit idiosyncrasies because they tend to be the softer, more convivial, social side of aspect of your parents. Behaviorally, I mean, I'm not even the man I was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. So, any influence I had from my father that is resonant is good. I find the positive aspects in that. I still have a thirst for knowledge. I'm so curious. I realize that I've become, with my age, I'm incredibly curious anyway, but I'm aware now of how curious I am, and I get that from my dad. And so that's a massive gift. That was the only thing that I had. But also, too, he had great timing. He was a raconteur, and he was not without fault. But, probably his greatest fault is the one that I've been able to not only control, but certainly master. So I feel very, very pleased that that's something that I've taken what I believe was his potentially his worst attribute, several of his worst attributes, and I don't have those in my life.
That's
control
great.
of them. Yeah. So, but that's through awareness of that as well. So I don't think you're doomed to be your parents, but the funny thing is you pick up little things, you just go, oh my God, I'm like my dad when I do that.
You've got to notice it. You've got to understand that it's there. You might not realize. It's that joke about the fish. When the old fish swims by the two young fish and goes, how's the water, boys? And one turns to the other and goes, what's water? If you don't know that you're doing it or you don't realize you're copying things that your parents have done.
Yes.
You bloody will when you hear your children, when they're 2, say shit that your dad used to say. And you're like, how do you know that? You've never, oh, fuck, you learned it from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah. But also, too, it's the best.
Yeah, it's also the best.
It's the best because that's the legacy that you've got in your own family chain, you know? And like I was saying, those idiosyncrasies, those weird things, as opposed to behavior, they can be generational.
Yeah.
And what a tribute to the people who have come before you, that they've got a legacy imprinted genetically and a legacy imprinted behaviorally through this kind of, it's not even a learned attribute. It's just gained through osmosis.
You're a very disciplined person. Have your kids picked up any of that?
No.
That's okay.
No, look, I think they understand how disciplined I am, and they see it. And also, too, they see, the public figure, and they see how I am and how other people relate to me. But they also, too, they see, an early rising father with tight disciplines around my lifestyle. My thinking now is, rather than trying to imprint the disciplines and the procedures that I think that they will benefit from, is if they see, they will learn. I don't need to force them into those structures because they're kids. They're just kids.
Yeah.
Then when they choose what they want to do, then they can employ those disciplines to great effect. If you look at, if they become an artist is great, but people think, unfortunately, many people believe that artist is not even a real job, right? But if you look at the great artists, like a Dali, I'm thinking people like Dali or Picasso or something like that, they worked very, very hard. They produced art every day as a discipline, and they got better and better. And it was through the disciplines that they had. I mean, they could be absolutely, mad in every respect, but they still had the discipline towards the art. So I'd rather let my kids form the basis of who they are going to be, then employ the structures and the disciplines around it, rather than the structures and the disciplines, because that might inhibit their choices in what they want to do.
One of the things about parenting that really sucked for me, and I've said it before, is like they don't do what you tell them, but they do everything you show them, which is the worst and best part of it all. Because if it's anything that's annoying, you're annoying you because you do it.
Yep.
And they learned it from you.
Yep.
But what you're saying, I'd like to think I've had some influence at all, maybe, I don't know. But I like to know that, look, if Georgia, she's now 21.
Wow.
But yeah, I know, right? But seeing this is a thing that came from an idea that I had and I spoke about while we were driving to netball or something one day, and now it's a book.
Yeah.
Now it's a thing because I've pushed the project and made the contacts and worked and disciplined and worked. Or here's this show that's not there, and now here at the comedy festival. Like, whatever it is, like, you can just have an idea, but then that's where the work comes in.
Yeah.
And then now we've created a thing.
Yep.
But there's work for it. You've got to work for it.
Well,
so I hope you've seen that.
And the work is it's such an underrated thing. Like, it's amazing. I think that we're all pushed to the idea of, like, you got to do the grind and work hard. I don't necessarily believe in, although I do the grind. It's just that I think that having a work ethic is a great gift. Some people can't work. They can't do things because they're unable to do them for one reason or another. They might have physical or mental abilities that don't allow them to do certain things that they would like to do. So it's a gift to be able to work hard, but you've got to do it with direction and purpose. And so once you find the direction and you find the purpose, then you apply the work. It's literally just putting the horse in front of the cart.
Oh, man, I hated any job ever until I became a roadie at 17. Like I worked at, fast food and all. It was like, this is shit. It's like doing detention with a uniform on.
Yeah.
I hated it. Like, why am I even here? The money doesn't. I think the bus fare up to Indooroopilly was $2.20 each way, and I was getting paid $4 an hour.
Yeah, right.
Like, what the fuck? And you're giving me a 2-hour shift. Like, why do I even leave the house?
Yeah.
No. But once I started, I get to go to a nightclub and load a PA out of a van,
there you go.
Turn it on and make noise. I'm like, I did for 14-hour days for $50. I didn't care. But once that got unlocked, then I was mad into it.
Because it's in line with your purpose. Once you're aligned, it's not even work anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, I say this to young people who are getting into radio, and I repeat it all the time, which is you've just got to reframe your perspective around what you're doing, right? Because people complain, they go, I've got endless meetings and I've got to speak to the guys from marketing and I've got sales and stuff like that. Go, I'll just reframe this, right? Is that if you go into radio and the 3 hours that you're on air, you're doing for free, right? That's just fun, right? You're doing for free. You're doing it for free because it's unreal fun. And let's be honest, you'd rather do that than not do that. So that's for free. You get paid for the meetings. So when you're in a meeting at 10:30 a.m. and you don't like it, shut up. You're getting paid to be there. That's what you're getting paid for. All the stuff on air, that's your playtime. That's your playtime. Afterwards, you're getting paid for that.
That's a great way to look at it. I've heard someone say that about acting. It's like, the acting I do for free. I get paid for people to hassle me when I'm at Disneyland.
There you go.
Something like that.
Yeah, get paid for the publicity.
Yeah. That's what I get paid for. I can't go to do groceries. That's why I get paid what I get paid. But I love that other part, which is, it is kind of cool. Radio was a huge part of your life, and you gave me a huge gift by getting me back on, but also you give me a huge gift by when I text you going, fuck, man, all the TV's gone away. I don't know what to do. And you write back to me going, pivot, man. Everything's about a pivot.
Yeah.
Like, when did you become the Marcus Aurelius of business?
Mate, you'd be surprised. I reckon I would be surprised if I went 2 weeks without somebody in the radio industry reaching out to me.
Wow. Holy moly.
People, I reckon I'm a lightning rod for when people are displaced or need advice or they need something outside of the industry that understands the industry. So you
see it like the fucking Matrix. That's the thing. Not a lot of people see it the way you see it. Not a lot of people see the entire, I know now because I learned from you, like if you're not looking at the share price and the ratings and the sales market, then you don't have a picture as to why they chose that person to do the breakfast shift.
Correct.
And I never knew that before.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. There's so many different things to bring into the equation of making good radio. And part of making good radio is understanding your position within it and understand that position is not just to talk into a stick, right? Talking to a stick is well done. It's a great achievement. I'm doing it now. Try it at home. Get a real stick, fashion one from the backyard if you don't have a microphone. But it's really just talking into a stick. The art of it is balanced relationships. The art of it is understanding the importance of other people in the building, sales, understand they are good people trying to get a good outcome, not being resistant to them. And the most important thing is leadership. Leadership. When you're in there, if you are on air, you are a leader. So stop thinking about yourself. Think about the tangible effect that you have on other people and affect that positively. And if you're doing anything less than that, you're doing it wrong. Simple as that.
You have been in some, you've been enough of them so people won't reverse engineer it, but you've been in some on-air teams that no doubt have a lot of personality in the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of energy in the room.
Yeah.
What would you say? I mean, not everyone's going to be on air with, big personality people, but every workplace has got big personality people.
Yeah.
What would you say people might want to know to navigate a situation like that?
That's a good question. I think focus on the team win and the team outcome. Don't worry about mix of voice. Like, one of the mistakes that I think and I understand why it happens a little bit, is like that the share of the pie. You've got 3 people. We need you to do about 30%, and we need you to do 40%, and we need the other person to do 30%, and that's the perfect equation. Just go,
I love that you went straight to the content director voice. Like,
yeah, well, that's it. That's who's telling you.
So radio was that, like, that's the person who's sometimes never been on air telling on-air teams exactly how to do their job well.
And I actually understand why they do it, because it's a simplification of an equation, right? But the problem is that it's in every voice break, if everybody's just doing 30, 30, and 40 out of 3 people, then you've got a very predictive state. Okay, sure. But what does it really matter if in one break, one of those people's only putting in 15%, or at a couple of breaks only putting 15%? If you look at the whole show over the day, holistically, if you go narrow scope into one mic break, which is often what happens, they separate a mic break and they look at that and they go, the share of voices out here. What you've got to do is look at the team win. So, I think that some people are better off just being 20% and being, pitch hitters, like really, really good at dropping, really succinct pieces to the team, and other people are going to offer more. So I don't think the equation is as important. The most important thing I tell people is clean outs. Get a clean out. Get the clean out, the first best out. That's what I say to people. First best out. So when you open up the mics, don't worry about so much about what you're saying. There's so much like in radio is, when you're going into this break, how did you think it was going to end? What? What is
Sorry, it's like just the fucking cadence and the way you talk. Yeah, I've been in that meeting, mate, 1,000 times.
You know how it works. I can actually put it on even more. So okay. You've gone
Use
into
the
this
word
break.
cume at some point.
You've gone into this break. You're thinking, what are you thinking? You've gone in there. What's your beginning? What's your middle? What's your end point? What did you think was the out? Right? You go, I wasn't thinking about the out. I've never gone into a good break in my life thinking about how I'm going to exit. Right? It's just not. You don't walk into a circus and just go, right, let's identify the exit here. What? You're at a circus, mate. Enjoy the circus. Worry about the exit when you need to get there. Worry about this. You're in a play space. It's a play space. Every time you open the mic, you should know what your starting point is, and then let everything happen about it, and then first best out, first best exit. So what that means is, in radio terms, as soon as, and this does not matter whose mouth it comes from, as soon as somebody hits that punchline, hits that point, bang, chop out, get out. If it's at 2 minutes, it's probably too short. If it's at 7 minutes, what's happened is you've missed the earlier out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So if it's in anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes, typically in commercial radio, the first best out, bang, take it, chop it. If you want to come back, excellent, but hit the punchline with the next point.
It's a very specific thing doing breakfast radio or any kind of team radio thing, but it could happen in a real estate department, financial department. Like everyone's contributing ideas to try to get the great outcome, and we all want to make sure, this is what we've done here. What else can we do? Mate, trust me, the amount of work to get from as good as that one was to the next really good one is fucking so beyond the amount of momentum we need to rebuild to get to another tag or another great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's action that.
And I think for people, the other example I use is, if you're a stand-up comedian and you've got 20 minutes to do, right? 20 minute set is pretty common. So you've got a 20-minute set. But then you get to 17 minutes and you've still got 3 minutes to go, right? But you get to 17 minutes, and a joke that you normally do pretty well on, like it gets good laughs, is just this, for whatever reason, it is just absolutely smacked the crowd and people are literally applauding. You know what you don't do? The other 3 minutes. Because you've got at least a 50% chance, mathematically, it's not going to be as good. Yes. So why would you take a 50-50 bet after you've just won lottery? Do you know what I mean? You've won the lottery. Nobody comes along and says, would you like to double it? No, I'm good. I've won the lottery. Get out. Get out.
The MC will be thrilled that you're keeping the night on time. If the road wants to chat to you, you're like,
no one's watching the clock. That's it. Nobody's watching the clock. Nobody's listening to radio and just going, I felt like that break could have gone for another 35 seconds. No, don't open it up. Close it off. Done. Take the win.
Do you think that, I mean, we've spoken about this, but when you look at that big picture of media in Australia, and you had a podcast on another network to this one up until...
I've had podcasts on every network. I am absolutely a gun for hire. I looked at the camera when I said that because that's how good I am at it.
Mate, I do it all the time.
I look straight down the barrel. I am a media whore.
Look, I have been selling myself for money for a long time now.
That's what we do.
I like to think I'm good at it.
Yeah.
When you look at the industry, particularly the Australian media industry, I have some thoughts on this, but I'd like to know your angle. When you look at the broader scope of what we now call, I guess, content or audio content, what have where have people got it right as far as the business models that are moving, and what are some rude surprises that people might be facing? Advanced media commentary from Merrick Watts.
I think podcasts are great. I think podcasts are fantastic. I think if people start a podcast thinking that it's going to be a highway to cash, you are driving the wrong way up an autobahn. It's like anything. You should do it because you want to do it. I think that there is now a lot of replicable forms in media and in podcasting just by the nature of so many podcasts. So I think trying to identify something unique and individual, you are not enough. Like, you've got to have more of a hook than just yourself, right? And people go, oh, but what about this person or that person? Somebody will always say Joe Rogan. And you go, what about? And they go, well, that was built. And that became that through, persistence and consistency. But I would say, if you're looking at podcasts, look to make something that is serviceable to people, not just about you talking to. So your podcast actually services people. It gives people who have a need. They want to hear something. They want to feel something. They want to be. That's like me. It's safe for me to feel this way. That's what I get from your podcast.
Thanks.
Is a lot of people go, it's safe for me to talk about this. It's safe for me to feel this. I'm not alone. Bingo. Right?
That's it.
And you might, some people will just make a podcast for humorous sake. That's fine. But I think looking at how you can differentiate yourself is the big thing with podcasts. I actually think radio could do lots more. I think radio, I know it's taken a bit of a beating, but I actually think radio is one of the best forms of media. I think it could actually do something really exciting and very interesting.
Put your content director voice on. Let's say, we're in the building next door to where you used to work, here in Piermont. Okay. What's your grand vision? What are you doing?
Bravery.
Yeah. What's that look like?
Comes down to bravery.
Yeah.
There's one word that I would encourage in radio is bravery, because it's at a stage now where repeating the same thing is proven to not work. And repeating it, it doesn't have the same effect. So throw out the rule book. Allow people to play loose. You look at radio's threat would be podcasts. Podcasts have no rules, right? And because they have no rules, they draw interest. I think if radio was, in some parts, it's not like across, I'm speaking very broadly, and it's more specifically, of course, towards FM rather than AM. But I would love to see people acting with more bravery. And I've given this example literally to some of the people I've been working with at Triple M when I talk about this, just to get clarity around that bravery. It's not about the use of language and pushing boundaries and trying to get yourself, so close to the edge of saying something or causing fire or anything like that. It's not that. It's the bravery in backing yourself in to make good content and make good content that resonates, by being brave in your actions. If your mic break is at 5 minutes, but it's really good, push it, keep going. And if that out that I was talking about comes at 7.5 minutes, good. Whereas the structures are very much in place of like, it's a 4-minute break, it's a 4-minute break, it's a 4-minute break. Don't do this, don't do that. There's a lot of structures around it. And I think that's come potentially from trying to get people with less radio experience into positions of high standing in the radio industry. You'd know this. You know what I'm talking about. You get people who haven't done 5 or 6 years of radio, and then all of a sudden they're in the pressure of a breakfast radio job in a cap city. That's a lot. So they need to employ a lot of structure around them so that they can give them the guide rails. But then what happens too is they become, I think sometimes you risk becoming a battery hen and becoming a cookie cutter process, whereas bravery is breaking rules and convention, not so much rules like in the sense of rules, but break the conventions. And that's what I'd like to see. I think radio has got this The ability to be live is what I'm talking about. That's its edge.
Do you think radio has the ability to, and I guess the standards that people expect as far as authenticity from the people they're listening to in their ears? Podcasts are a very intimate medium. I go gardening with my podcast friends. You know, they don't realize that I'm out there shoveling gravel, and we're all hanging out together. It's such an intimate medium, and the authenticity that's available to you with the space that podcasts give changes the expectation of how close that parasocial relationship can be. Do you think radio can meet that?
I reckon radio can absolutely own it.
Yeah. Is anybody doing it?
Not in the way I would.
I want to see.
Not in the way I would. I think that it's the most beautifully connective media we've ever invented, right? People talk about social media. Is that connected? I don't know. It feels a lot like me telling you something that I want you to believe about me. That's social media, right? It's somebody telling somebody else, or as many people as they can, this is what I would like you to believe about me. Yeah? Radio. Podcast is good because you've got the ability to edit it. You've got the ability to have long form.
Yeah.
But radio is live.
Yeah.
It's accountable, and it's a dialogue with your audience.
I mean, just as you were speaking there, I was like, fuck, all social media is pre-recorded except for the live shit, which is fucking boring.
Yeah.
Because being live and being able to hold engagement and hold an audience and keep someone's attention and ideas moving for 10 minutes, let alone an hour, is hard to do. I've watched enough boring Twitch streams to go, guys, come on. You know, I can't just sit here and look at the fucking scrolling chat.
Yeah.
Come on, do something.
Yeah. But the other thing too with radio, sometimes referred to as like, the barbecue analogy, which is you don't go to a barbecue with a sheet of topics that you're going to talk about at the barbecue.
Relatable topics, mate. Relatable topics.
Yeah, got some relatable topics here. What we're going to do is we're going to start.
Betty Blacktown's going to love that one.
We're going to talk a bit about football because everybody loves footy. And then what we're going to do is we'll talk about Pearl Jam here for a little while. And then we're going to come back here. And you know what we're going to do then? No one does that. No one does that. No one does that. You start a conversation, see where it goes.
People don't even know
how accurate I am with that
voice. The content director getting the emphasis on Pearl Jam wrong.
Yeah, Pearl Jam. So true.
I know I'm not going to say his name, but I know the exact person.
But you know the funny thing is, I don't know who that is. I don't know who it is.
It's a real guy.
It's like third generation now. I've learned it from like whispers.
Pearl Jam and Nickelback.
Nickelback.
There's fun in there. But at some point, radio, breakfast radio famously, the stakes are very high and it gets very expensive to make because the people that become on air become so valuable, and that the relationship that gets built up is like, I get up in the morning and I listen to these people in the morning and they're always there for me in the morning. And so that relationship becomes very, very valuable in some cases, astronomically so. But that value for you, at some point, you're like, I'm going to go do other stuff. People would, in your position, they might pivot to just doing only stand-up. Yeah, that's great. Running a fucking festival, I've seen easier second gigs to pursue.
Yeah. Events are always tricky. They're always like, it's like that's a game of constant game of Russian roulette. You just like spin, but events. I love events. I love all the things that I do, and I do lots of things that I think people go, how can you do all of the things you do with focus and clarity and effort and there's no way known you can do it. And I go, well, I do, and I have. And not only that, I've been doing it consistently for years, so maybe I can do it. And they go, well, nobody else can do it. No, nobody else you know. But I know some people like myself who, and myself included, but I know other people who have multiple businesses, operate at an incredible level, and you just make it work. And to be frank, a lot of it comes at personal sacrifice. That's the pain.
Yeah.
The pain is your time. You have to commit to these things. That's fine. That's if there's any wiggle room, if there's any issue, that comes out of you. As soon as you understand that, then that's your obligation, your responsibility. That if there's a requirement made, that comes out of your personal time. That could be sleep, that could be exercise, that can be family time, the tough ones, all the things you love. That's what gets burnt. That's what gets thrown under the bus.
Austin Kleon, he's got this great line. It's about the art scene, but it could apply to anything. Work, family, scene, pick two.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that when it comes to this? Because I've got told once, like, you're awake, if you're sleeping 8 hours a night, A, good for you, but B, you've got about 104 hours every week. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do at that time? Because you don't get it back.
So I've been very, very fortunate where it looks as though I'm just working all the time, but I'm working on my hobbies all the time. These are the things I want to do. So if it was just work, I wouldn't be able to sustain it. There's no way, no. So what do I sacrifice? I do sacrifice a lot. I do. I sacrifice a lot of social time. I don't have, and I've learnt to accept this, is that I've had to sacrifice social interactions and my friendships because I've just got too much work on. But that's my choice for my longer goals. But what I have been able to do for my entire career is I weave friendships and social interactions into my work. I enjoy working with people. I really like workplace social interaction with a team. Now, if I was working in isolation, that would be problematic, but it's not the way I am. I feel like I get enough social interaction at a good level, at a meaningful level for me through the work I do. I love people. I like working with people. So when I go to work, I'm going to work, but I'm going to have fun when I'm at work. And that's my social time. That is my work time. And also that is in some ways even my spiritual time, because I know that when I'm doing these things, I am driving towards my goal, my purpose, my reasons. So that's how it's done. Because people go, you can't do that many hours a day. Like, at the moment, it's nothing for me to do 14, 16 hours a day. No problem. I can do that. And I can do that, sustainably for days and days and days. On weekends, I'm cooked a lot of the time but I do work a lot of weekends as well. Again, that the personal sacrifice is working weekends. So it's very, very common for me to go month, 2 months, maybe 3 months without having a day off.
Can you weave your kids and your family into this as well?
Always.
Yeah. How does that work?
Always. I make them line up at the door and I high five them on the way out. I don't have time for a kiss. Oh, sure. I've got to make a choice. Like you said, it's a high five, a kiss, or a hug. What do you want? We've only got time for a high five. Let's go. Line up, kids.
Are you able to open the garage and point to the old Mustang and say, one day all this will be yours? Like, have you got the succession plan in place for the kids to get involved?
Yeah, definitely. But my succession plan for my children is choice.
Yeah, right.
That's what I want for my children.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be me. I don't want them to follow me. I want them to have choice.
Yeah, right.
That's it. And that's not about money. That's about being enriched enough in themselves that they can make a decision. They go, Dad, I want to do this. And I'll go, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. I grew up wanting to be a comedian, amongst other things, but primarily a comedian. And I used to tell people I'm going to become a comedian. And my parents were just like, oh, that's cool. That's good. Like our parents just went, yeah, that makes sense. Go and do that. Whereas I think, when a lot of people tell their parents that they want to become a comedian, their parents is like, oh, we were hoping you'd go to university, but you want to enter the arts. So no, there's nothing my kids could tell me that they wanted to do unless it was harmful towards others. And I don't see my kids they're not going to do anything that harms others.
So what part of I like my hobbies and I do what I want, and I'm integrating my friendships and personal life and spirituality into my work. How does that play out when you went and got yourself certified as a sommelier, essentially? I only have one joke about that. Heggie told it to me. Why did the sommelier get asked to leave the nudist beach?
Why?
He had a semi on.
I do a joke in my show about it, but not that, but it's similar. Mine's better, Heggie, if you're listening.
Dick jokes.
Which you're not.
Dick jokes always work.
Yeah,
dick
of course
jokes
they
are
do.
Great. Farts are funny and dick jokes work. They just do because they're hilarious. Did any part of you struggle when it was, we talked about the last time you came on the show, we talked about how you went at school and learning, and that school might not have been, maybe it's different now when they see the way they're talking to Wolfgang. He's 5 and they see the way they're talking to him. It's like, he's in kind. What, you meditate every day as a class? Fuck me.
Isn't that great?
It's fucking awesome.
Isn't that great?
He knows what his fucking prefrontal cortex is. He calls it something else, but he knows what his amygdala is. He calls it his guard dog.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, they have like a poster on the wall. Like,
now we're talking.
They know. They're like, oh no, that's just your guard dog piping up, son.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
it's incredible. However, so in the previous conversation we had, you talked that you in school didn't exactly gel. What was the learning aspect and applying yourself to that like now?
It's interesting because I don't think I'm necessarily a great student, and I don't think I'm a scholastically not well suited, but what I am very, very, very good at is preparation. Very good at preparation, and I've become better and better and better, and I pride myself on it. But I take everything I do very seriously, even comedy. Like, people who work with me, when I go and do my show, I will prepare. I will get myself ready, and I don't roll up half-assed. But when I'm on stage, it looks like I'm just goofing off, and I love that, right? But everyone's just like, this guy is just loving space, and I am. But I've worked really, really hard behind the scenes so that I can really enjoy those moments, because I'm not in the moment just going, oh, if I just rehearse this a little bit better or something like that. I'm able to enjoy the moment because of the hard work I've done before. And so, and because I'm a polymath by nature, I like to get certification and qualifications, because then I know that I've got a skill and application towards something. So I've got a motorbike license, I've got a car license, obviously, but I also have a boat license. I don't have a boat. I've got a jet ski license. I've never owned a jet ski. I'm never going to.
If anyone that would be great on the back of a jet ski,
it'd be me. I'm born for it.
Kenny fucking Powers.
Yeah,
You'd be amazing.
100%. But I don't have one. I have no intention. But I had to get it for something. So whenever I see something, I've got RSAs for every state and every territory in the country. So I went and got those because I knew that in my wine show, and Idiot's Guide to Wine, I was going to be, potentially having to serve wine. So rather than just fob it off, I went, I will get every qualification that I'll do it, because I'm going to be doing this thing. So when I did wine study, I was like, okay, I got level 1. And I was like, I'll get level 2. And I was like, well, if I get level 3, I know that the wine industry will respect me in a different way. I'll have, a greater capacity to speak to the people that I want to speak to if I bridge it with the knowledge. So I didn't want to do it, but I went and did that. And then I became a Barossa master, which again is study. And I did some, in part of that you do wine assessment, and I did that as well. So I keep adding to these suite of things. Then when a few years ago, when I decided I wanted to give Pusca a red hot crack, I was like, wow, what will this become? What will this be? This is like literally months after I've come up with a basic formulation for a drink from ancient Rome. It's so Merrick Watts, I can't even tell you. So I just go, what am I going to do?
Hang on, I think you just literally just referred to yourself in the third person.
Yeah, I know. I have to, because everybody
Ricky Stewart's got to look out for Ricky Stewart.
So I was like, all right, well, what do I want this to be? How far can it go? And what do I need to do right now?
Yeah, right.
So I went and studied at the Australian Institute of Company Directors, which was the worst thing I've ever done. And it was so hard for me. It was really hard for me. It was really, really difficult. I liked the governance aspect of what I was studying, the fiscal stuff, the business aspects of it that I needed to learn were so deep and so important and so difficult that I did one of the exams and I failed it. And I was like, oh my God. And I had all this like back to school. This is like when you failed at school. And I went, no, I've changed since then. And I never, ever quit. So I went back, did it again, passed. And then went to another exam, failed. And I'm like, oh, can this just stop? And I went, no, back again, passed it. And then my third exam I passed. And I was like, all right, well, we've done that. That's locked now. But that was all in preparation for where I am now. That was 3 years ago that I started doing that.
How do you?
I did that from the 2nd of January. I was prepared to commit my time, my family time, my own personal time, my holiday time.
Yeah.
And I was hiding away doing work, getting ready.
And so
for now.
There's no way that you could do that. You're married, you got kids. Like what is the support of your wife? How does that play into this?
Georgie and my kids are very, very supportive because they know that everything I do for them. Ultimately, my vision, my purpose, my goals, all those things, yes, they're very selfish, but they will produce results that will benefit my family. Like I said, I work hard now. I will be able to give them the gift of choice. So they're very supportive of it, and it is tricky. When I spend time with them, I'm very affectionate to my kids. I love them. We're very, very tactile family. So I feel that the time I spent is valued and it's good. And I know when to invest more time in them when I need to. So that was like literally yesterday. I said, kids, here's the plan. We're gonna watch Grimsby. And they're like, what? And I go, that's right. A completely inappropriate film for a family. And we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have a nice little meal together. We're, just sit down very basic and we're gonna watch television. it's television. And they were like, oh, okay, Dad. But it was great. It was a real family bonding experience.
Over Sash and Barracone's balls.
Yeah, it's so funny. But we're all laughing.
It's a great moment.
We're all laughing. It's great. And that's like, okay, this time is for family. So I do try to do that. There's another saying as well, Osh, which is if you can't spend time, spend money.
Yeah.
I buy my way through my relationships is what I do.
You wouldn't be the only one. You wouldn't be the only one.
Yeah.
So you mentioned it. So I was semi-joking when I said you're the Marcus Aurelius of business, but like you've literally gone to ancient Rome to find a recipe.
Yeah, an ancient Roman recipe. It's cool. Do you want me to explain what it is?
Well, so there's some here in the room. Like it's Pusca is the name of it. It's a hydration drink. It's got
non-alcoholic.
Well, this is good and gluten-free, which is great.
And vegan friendly.
And this is good because I'm a friendly vegan. And you probably had 50,000 cans of it, so you probably know.
Yeah, I hope they're still cold. I brought one from. Oh yeah, that's good.
This is the thing. Like, I'm glad they shaped it like this because even a soft drink can, for the first couple of years after I stopped drinking, when I held a soft drink can because it's the same size shape as a beer can, I was gave me the willies.
Yeah, we'll talk about this.
But that sound,
isn't that good? I'm going to make it even better by. Oh, it spilled on my Dax.
That's really good.
There's grape and there's pineapple, but I'm not here to do ads, but I'm here to do ads.
No. Like, because I'm celiac, so I can't drink any zero alcohol beer. I wouldn't do it anyway because I had one once and I was like, that makes me want to kick in the door of a bottle of no thanks.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah. So it's got, like magnesium, potassium and salts in it, which comes from, an extension of the ancient Roman formula for Posca, which is about 2,500 years old. But it's got no sugar at all. It's got no artificial ingredients whatsoever. It's vegan friendly.
Got my name on it.
It's got prebiotics, and it's got the OG.
It's the OG sports drink.
That's why I brought it in. That's actually why we named it that.
As you should. I'm available for ambassadorships.
I'll
take equity
on that.
I'll take equity. What was the noise your wife made when you told her, I've just discovered this recipe?
She's just like, of course you have. Of course you have. Nothing I do ever surprises Georgie. Like, I'm not kidding. There's nothing I ever do that really surprises me because her expectation is that if it's unique and difficult, I'll do it. If it's unique and difficult, I'll do it. If other people wouldn't do it, he will do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of, so she wasn't surprised at all. But I was doing some wine research during lockdown because the worst thing for me is not overloading with work. The worst thing for me is to have nothing to do. It drives me quite literally mad. I like work.
Yeah, me too.
I like work. So I was doing some research for An Idiot's Guide to Wine. I was planning on writing this show. I was doing some research for it, and I discovered an ancient formula called Posca, which was a ancient Roman drink that the legionnaires drank. Right around Europe, the Roman army marched on it, quite literally, and it was a base of red wine vinegar and salt, to which they added water. And what the Roman army would do is they would march all the way through Europe, and this actually allowed them to take so much ground. And when they came across a new water source, they would purify it using the red wine vinegar and the salts. And of course, they're just microbial, killing all the crap in the water. Because more people would, in those days certainly, more people would die through disease than battle.
Oh, yeah.
It's really common. So as they were on the march, they come across a new water source. They would make a blend of Posca for people to drink. The gladiators drank it, the Roman soldiers drank it. Emperor Hadrian, who took it to the UK, and he was, of course, the Roman emperor who conquered Great Britain, he actually mandated that his troops were only allowed to drink wine every second day because he didn't want, and they were drinking Posca the other times. And he himself would drink Posca in solidarity with his troops. So all these crazy, Marcus Aurelius probably would have drunk this. Everyone was drinking it.
So what you're saying is, like, as they, traversed across the countryside, there's probably a fair bit of stabbing and stuff going on.
A bit.
They found a stream. So rather than let the people drink directly from the stream, they're like, don't drink it yet. Yep. Let's get it in these cauldrons. Yes. Let's boil it up. Let's make this.
They wouldn't even boil it, I think.
Or let's just mix it through. Let's ferment. Just give it a couple of hours, and now you can drink it.
Yeah.
Now it's safe to drink.
As soon as you blended it.
Wow.
As soon as you blended it, because it's got acetic acid and salt. So they're preservatives.
Yeah.
They're natural preservatives. We don't need to add anything. So it's about what it doesn't have. It doesn't have sugar. It doesn't have artificial ingredients. But I'm very proud of it.
I can't imagine. Like, I've invested in a thing. It was a beverage. It didn't go in the end.
Was it alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
It was non-alcoholic. But what happened in the end of it? Like, the amount of work you got to do beforehand just to go, yeah, this is a great idea, but now this is a great idea worth pursuing.
Yes.
At what point did you realize, no, I've in the energy drink market, which is, shall we say, crowded?
Yep.
When did you realize actually there's room for this? This can work.
Because it's entirely unique. It's actually a new category itself, which presents enormous challenges, but also to long-term, I believe, the greatest benefits. So there's no stimulants in it. There's no caffeine. It's not an energy drink. It comes in a can because I made the decision from day one, I don't want to put it in plastics. Plastics are out.
Yeah.
They're moving out. Why put it in there? Put it into tin. Also, too, I made it effervescent. I wanted it to be sparkling because I thought it tasted better, and it does. But no one's ever done this. No one's ever done this. No one's ever made Pusca like this anywhere. People have, made it, but no one has gone out with a brand called Pusca. No one has brought it to life. And for me, the challenge was, all right, well, what do I want to do with this? I thought I would love to see an Australian-made and invented drink supported and developed here spread throughout the world. I would love that. Red Bull did it. Why can't we have a little Aussie Red Bull story? And so there has been 100 times when I've just gone, Merrick, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then the answer is always the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. I'm producing something I believe in. I love the history. I love the story. I love studying about it. I love everything about that. It's an incredible drink. But I know in my gut that this is the right thing to do. And everything I do, I just apply myself 100% to.
Have you seen a case to Ryan Holiday?
No.
Mate, we fucking should.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you arrange that?
Pardon?
Can you arrange that?
Yeah.
Done. I don't know who Ryan Holiday is. Zing!
2:35, Ed Sheeran's coming up next. First best out with Merrick Watts.
100%. That was the out.
That was there.
We were all punched in straight into a song
first
there.
best. It was really good. Yeah, I was already hearing a Taylor Swift song. The phones have already lit up. Even though she's not touring, they still think they're getting tickets. There was a time in your life when exercise wasn't really a part of your day.
Yep.
Exercise is now very much a part of your day.
Yep.
What kind of, you said you're not very good if you don't work or don't have something to work on. What do you like when you don't exercise and what do you like when you do?
Oh, yeah, exercise is very, very important to me. Very important to my mental well-being.
So people who are listening, they've got to realise that Merrick just put his can down, then realised it was out of shot, slightly moved it closer to the microphone, logo facing the
People
camera.
should realise that nobody else would
ABC,
have
always
noticed
be
that.
closing right here.
Can I say, always be closing, can I say that probably no one would have noticed this subtle movement that I made there.
I'm a television professional, mate.
At the moment of doing this, going, Osh will see this.
Fucking oath.
I wonder if he calls me out on it, and he did. And well done to you.
It was awesome.
Just that subtle, there's the label in front of the camera, product placement whilst we're here.
It's the key to success. It's the key to success. You were telling me what you like if you don't exercise and what you like when you do.
It's actually just the mental well-being. I just feel better. It's not like I feel bad if I don't. I just feel a lot better and a lot more capable when I'm in a good routine of exercise. And it's just the endorphins.
Yeah.
I just like it.
Yeah.
I like, doing a good session and just feeling good.
Yeah.
But it's important. I'm training for Kokoda at the moment. So I go to Kokoda in about 5 weeks. So I've had to change the way I train. And that's great because it gives me something. It gives me a different purpose. It gives me a different style of training for a period of time. And I like to do that. I like to emphasize something different for a period of time and then go again on something. I don't want to just be doing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm off barbells for the moment. I'm back on kettlebells. It's great.
So there you go.
Yeah, it's lovely.
But that doesn't sound like a lot, but it actually is.
Yeah.
It's completely different. So, but it's still throwing tin around, but sure.
Iron, sir. Iron.
It's tin. I'm chucking tin around. Look at that.
What kind of so Kokoda's? It's a couple of days, and it's very challenging terrain.
It's 9 days.
It's a hike.
It's 9 days through jungle.
Yeah, it's fairly intense. What does training for that look like?
10, I think.
You can't train by walking all day.
You can, but you have to carry weight. So at the
you've
moment,
got a job and you've got a family, and
yeah.
Do you have a treadmill?
Yeah, it's you know what it is. It's like I was saying about the sacrifices.
Yeah, right.
So at the moment, I'm having to sacrifice some of the training to do breakfast radio. But then what I'll do is, like tomorrow, I'll get up early in the morning. I'll get up an hour early, so I'll be up at about 3 or maybe a bit shy of 3, and I'll go and train, and I'll sacrifice my time, my sleep to get that done. So there's always a trade-off.
Yeah, right.
Because time, this is the thing, time is finite. If there's one thing I could have more of, it'd be time.
Yeah,
time is the most valuable thing.
Cannot buy it.
That's it.
You absolutely cannot buy it.
But you can make it.
Yeah,
But you can't buy it.
You can.
You can make it. Make time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm training for that at the moment. Otherwise, I feel pretty good.
That's fantastic. Well, thing is, like, you are one of the other people that, and Heggy is one of the other ones, that we're all similar ages, but we don't look as old as we are.
No.
You don't look as old as you.
I'm 51.
Yeah, I'm 51 in a week.
Yeah.
And I don't look 51.
No, you don't.
Because
49.
Maybe and a half. Because I'm a bit haggard. I'm a little bit haggard because I grew up in Queensland. And there was a lot of fucking sun early in my
sun
life.
damage. Yeah, but you offset it with the hair. That's the trick.
Well, I had very short hair for a while there. I've become quite old. When I go to the buzz cut, I look old.
This is a good cut for you.
Yeah, I'm working on the like I have a keytar and I play in an 80s funk band.
Wow, that doesn't sound tragic at all.
Mate, it's what I'm going for. You know what I'm going for? I'm going for Snake in Escape from New York. That's what I'm going, just without the eye patch.
Oh, yeah, Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, sick.
1981 Kurt Russell.
Yeah, man. You can do that.
That's what I'm going for.
You can do that.
That was my reference photo.
Yeah, you're going to have to get some tighter jeans, but you'll be all right. You can get there.
Oh, these are made of Kevlar, so...
Oh, that's right. You've hit 50 years of age. If you start buying jeans that are so practical that they're made out of Kevlar, you're in your 50s.
I am. You know how...
That's a dad move.
Do you know how dad move I am? I was going through my wardrobe the other day. I was holding up pairs of boardies going, I'm never going to wear them again because I am budgie smugglers and I don't care. I just don't care.
It's been great being here. So thank you so much, Osh. Again, that's another out. Second best out.
It is second best. It's great. I love it. It's lovely to not give a shit after years and years and years of giving a shit.
Yeah, I don't care.
Fucking care now.
Yeah, I think there's a wonderful freedom that you can explore. I'm in that phase now where I care about things, but I don't care as much. I care about the impression I leave, not the impression people take of me. So you know what I mean? Like if people look at me and they go, they can think whatever they like. I don't care. I care about the impression I leave, the impression I deliberately leave. That's what I care about.
It's the only part you can control.
That's it.
Go to bed, sleep at night.
I don't care what people say about me behind my back.
18 and a half minutes before you get up and do some training and some radio and can run 3 companies and study to be a level 4 You haven't got the diploma yet. That's the next
I'll
one.
go for
Level
diploma.
4. Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah.
How are you not going to?
I need to wait. I need a few years. I'll wait a few years and then I'll do diploma.
You're going to have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get there with time. I'll probably, in the meantime, though, I'll probably get a pilot's license or something stupid that I also don't want. Do you hear Merrick's got a helicopter license? Has he? Has he got a helicopter? No. No.
Never
Why has he
know.
got that? Because he's Merrick.
One day you just won with a big Pusca written on the side, landing on your front lawn.
Pusca chopper is the dream.
Yeah, landing at the gig.
The dream.
At the Grapes of Mirth, you're landing there like Deep Purple at fucking Mount Smart Stadium, grabbing the microphone and go, hello, Hunter Valley!
Yeah, and people going, he's gone full Elon. Never go full Elon. True that.
Thanks for this. It's really delicious.
You try the other flavours. I reckon you're a grape.
Is this a mix can? Or?
Yeah. I brought a mixed box for you because I'm a great guy and I think I had one pre-prepared at home. But I do overthink that shit.
No, not at all. It's great. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, Osh.